and welcome. I'm Geeta Mohan and you're watching India Today Global. That's some big breaking news coming in on the Iran-America front. We're looking at sanctions. Sanctions from the United States of America. 18 Iranian individuals and entities have been sanctioned. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent in an announcement, in a video announcement, has very clearly spelled out what America is going to do. This is America's next step of action: target Iranian networks. 25% tariff on nations doing business with Iran. Demands of Iranian legitimacy, as also the Americans have now warned Iran that they will track Iran down. A message to Khamenei that it's still time for them to join the United States of America. Listen in.
Today's sanctions target 18 individuals and entities that the regime uses to evade sanctions on Iranian oil and divert proceeds from its energy sales away from the rightful owners, the Iranian people. Tehran's natural resources belong to its people and not its brutal dictators. Treasury will continue to target Iranian networks and corrupt elites that enrich themselves at the expense of average Iranians. This includes the regime's attempts to exploit digital assets to evade sanctions and finance cybercriminal operations. Additionally, President Trump has announced a 25% tariff on countries that continue to do business with Iran. Our message to the Iranian people is clear. Your demands are legitimate. You are protesting for a noble cause, and the United States supports you and your efforts to peacefully oppose the regime's mismanagement and brutality. Our message to the Iranian leaders is also clear. U.S. Treasury knows that, like rats on a sinking ship, you are frantically wiring funds stolen from Iranian families to banks and financial institutions around the world. Rest assured, we will track them and you, but there's still time if you choose to join us.
My colleague Pranay Upadhyay joins me for more on this. Pranay, very interesting developments. We were looking at a scenario, a situation where there could have been military intervention, and then we saw a climb down. President Trump actually saying that the killings have stopped. Then we see reports of Saudi pressure, and now we are seeing sanctions rather than military intervention.
Geeta, these are all parts of President Donald Trump's maximum pressure policy on Iran. You know that, after assuming White House for the second term, President Donald Trump signed the executive order of maximum pressure policy on Iran. And if you have seen, in last 1 year, President Donald Trump has taken various measures against Iran. So, he might have given this indication that presently, or in the given condition, Iran may be off hook from any imminent military action in the immediate, in a near future. But he doesn't want to give out the message that, Iran is off hook from his policy, and therefore he might have tweeted that, we are looking forward for a situation where, Iran is not taking not carrying out any capital punishment against the protesters or punishing them. But there is pressure on Iran. They are taking economic measures. In fact, this is President Donald Trump and his administration's policy to tighten the nose of those factors, the reasons which actually caused people in Iran to come out on street, making things difficult for Iran to do business with other countries, be it 25% additional tariff or putting additional economic sanction. What does it lead to? It leads to the economic, worsening of the condition for Iran.
But Pranay, at the end of the day, there are pressure points. Military intervention would have meant spillover into Gulf, would have meant spike in oil prices, and would have meant near complete collapse of economy, including the United States of America. I'm sure these are considerations why we're looking at a delayed response military.
Not only the domestic consideration for President Donald Trump and U.S. economy, but also the consideration for the West Asian economies, for Gulf countries. Some of the important and significant allies for United States, be it Saudi Arabia, be it Qatar, or be it other countries where US has significant interest, as well as their significant military presence. But you have seen, Geeta, in the past, we have seen that, how President Donald Trump has given conflicting messages. But he did carry out military action, as he said, against Iran and targeted its military establishment. we have seen that he has consistently delivered on, tightening news against Iran and taking stringent measures, be it his first term of 2016 to 2020. And even during his second term, we have seen a consistency of his policy on putting pressure on Iran and weakening the Iranian government.
Right.
Now, this is for the Iranian establishment, Iranian government and Islamic regime. How long they can hold, but there are repeated signs, and now we have to see that how Iran delivers for their domestic their audience and for their own people to ease up the economic situation and economic conditions, because repeatedly Iranian society is also giving out this message that things are not going okay in Iran.
Right, absolutely. For now, there's a massive squeeze again on Iran, but we'll have to wait and see what President Trump does when it comes to an intervention. Any aircraft carrier is a week away.